almost all of the content on your site is a page as opposed to a blog post. So if you want to edit the content on your site, you need to edit the site pages. So I'm going to show you how that works. Editing and creating pages are pretty much exactly the same process. So I'm going to start by just showing you how to edit a page, and then at the very end of the video I'll show you what it looks like to create a page, but they're pretty much the same thing. So when you log on to your site, this is what you're going to see. This is the first screen you see when you log in. And then you click on Pages. This screen shows you a list of all of the pages on the site. Most of the pages have these images up here at the top, so those images show up here, which makes it easier for you to see, to find the page you're looking for. This also shows you how many hits this page has gotten recently, and most of the other information over here doesn't really matter much. So let's edit the About Us page. To edit a page, you either click on the page name or on this edit link down beneath it. So here's what it looks like when you're editing a page. The box up here at the top holds the page title, so that's what's right there. And then this main content area here is the content of your page. And what you type in here looks pretty much like what you're going to see on the website when you're done. And this is very much like editing a Word document. So if you've used Microsoft Word, this should all look pretty familiar to you. You have buttons that let you make the text bold, italic, underline, bulleted lists, numbered lists. You can center the text. So all of this should look fairly familiar and is pretty intuitive to use. When you just type text in, it's going to look like this. It's just plain paragraph text. But all of your site's pages have this large blue text up at the top. So to get that large blue text, let's say we want to make this sentence here large and blue. Highlight the text that you want, and then in this menu here, it's labeled paragraph because by default this is paragraph text, but we want to change it to heading 2. So if you click on heading 2, it becomes large and bold and will look like this text. To get this bold blue text, actually if you just select bold, this button here, or highlight it and hit Control B on your keyboard, making text bold will also make it blue. So formatting text is pretty simple. Do be careful if you are pasting text in from a Word document. A lot of times a bunch of weird formatting will come over if you're copying and pasting from Microsoft Word into WordPress. What I usually do when I'm trying to copy and paste stuff from a Word document is there's actually a tab up here that lets you see the HTML code. I don't expect you to understand HTML, but if you're pasting in content from Word, paste it into the HTML view and it won't copy over any of the formatting. Then you'll have to go back to the visual view and format it, but at least you won't end up with a bunch of weird gobbledygook from Microsoft Word. So that's the main content area. Underneath that, there's a box labeled WordPress SEO by Yoast, and there's another help page about search engine optimization that explains what to do with this box. Down here at the bottom, there's a box labeled Revisions, and this is very nice. Every time you save the page, it takes a snapshot of what you saved. So if you make some changes to a page and realize, oops, I shouldn't have done that, now I need to go back to what the page looked like a week ago, you can. You just click on the date that you want to go back to. And it gives you this screen that unfortunately gives you the HTML, so it's a little hard to see what's really going on. But if you want, you can compare two different revisions of the page, and then whichever revision you want, you just click on Restore, and it goes back to how it was. So that means you don't have to be afraid that you might screw things up, because you can always go back to what it used to be like. So returning to the Edit Page screen, there are some things, if you want to add images in the main content of the page, you do that by clicking this Upload and Insert link here, and there's another help document about uploading and inserting images, so you can refer to that if you want to put images in here. But most pages have this big image up at the top of the page, and that is the featured image. So to get that image at the top, if there is no image here, there will just be a link that says Set Featured Image, and you can click on that link and upload the image you want. The image needs to be exactly 648 pixels wide by 300 pixels tall. Actually, you can make it bigger than that, and WordPress will crop it down to size. If you make it any smaller, WordPress will ignore it. So make sure the image is at least 648 by 300, and it's best if you can upload something that's exactly that size. The final thing you want to look at is this box here labeled Page Attributes. And to explain that better, I'm actually going to go look at another page. So you see here on the About Us page, there are all of these other pages in the About Us sidebar. These are sub-pages of About Us, and you can see it here. Here's About Us, and then all of the pages that are in the sidebar on the About Us page show up in the list here. They have this little dash in front of them, which shows you that they are underneath About Us, that they're sub-pages of About Us. So let's look at the Client Testimonials page. So if you are adding a page to the site, or if you're editing a page and you want that page to show up in this menu on the About Us page, the way you do that is by going to this Page Attributes box and choose About Us as the page parent. And what that means is that About Us is the head page, and that this is a sub-page of About Us. Then there's this box here labeled Order, and you can type a number in here. So Client Testimonials is the first page in this list on the About Us page. But if you wanted it to be the 5th page in that list, you could just type the number 5 in here, and then that affects what order it shows up in this menu here. So that's how you edit pages. Let me briefly show you what happens when you add a new page. It's basically the same thing. If you click this Add New link over here in the sidebar, you just get a totally blank page. So you type in the title, here you type in all of the page content. You'll want to format it, especially that heading 2 is really important to get in there. And then you'll want to click Set Featured Image to add a featured image. If it's a sub-page of another page, then you want to choose that parent page here. But other than that, this is pretty much exactly like editing an existing page.